everyone, I'm Karishma and today I'll be interviewing Patricia. Hi Patricia, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Um, so let's get started. So can you give me some background information on yourself before you started your business?
Sure. So I worked in corporate for over 30 years as a program manager for a couple of Fortune 500 firms. I had most of my skills were in the technology field. I led major initiatives across lines of business to, either create new systems or to consolidate or modify existing systems. So I did that basically from, I want to say late 1970s all the way through to when I retired in 2017. Um, when my daughter was born in 1985, I took a 2-year break from corporate work. And I actually, during that time frame, went to culinary school. I had always loved to entertain and um, really enjoyed cooking, and everyone loved my cooking. So I decided to go to culinary school while I was on that break when my daughter was young. And I started a small catering business, which I had for several years. When I went back to work, I kept it as a side business for weekends and things of that nature. And then, let's see, in 1995, I got divorced and I had to let go of the business because I needed to increase my income and have a more stable income. So that at that point, I went strictly into corporate. I continued to not sell my services through catering, but to, help people with parties and so forth throughout those years. And then when I retired in 2017, that's when I took a course at Hofstra in entrepreneurship. And that was the beginning of Garnish Catering. So I
Okay,
mean, a
great.
little bit more personally, I have 3 children, I have 6 grandchildren. Um, my granddaughters love to cook. They're in the kitchen with me all the time. They're 19 and 15 now, so they've really come into their own, but still enjoying it. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, great. So what type of business is Garnish Catering and why did you decide to go into it? I know you touched upon it a little bit.
Yeah, I've always had a passion for food. I've always had a reputation for, for delicious foods. I have a passion for health and organic ingredients. And so putting those together and then learning about how to run a business, my direction or my goal was to do a catering business. Um, Basically, um, small scale, parties of up to 100 people, and leveraging, farm fresh ingredients. I can accommodate, gluten-free and vegan and things of that nature, as well as just your normal menus. Um, yeah, so it was really just a passion, something that I had to do. I am not in a committed relationship right now and haven't been for the past couple of years. So I needed to fill my time, going from working 80 hours a week or 60 hours a week to retirement was not my cup of tea. I needed to have something, and this is what it turned into. And I also do private chef. So I have a couple of clients that I on a weekly basis, I go to their premises and I cook meals for the week. And that's also been very rewarding because I've gotten to meet families and to really connect with them and get to know their likes and their dislikes, and really gear my menus towards things that I know that they're really going to enjoy.
Yeah, I understand. So does your business have a mission or a mantra?
Yes, we do have a mission. It can be found on my website, which is Garnish Catering NYC. But essentially, it's about, uh, so when you have a party, it's mainly about your food, but there's a lot of other things that go into it. So we really pride ourselves on engaging with clients and building out a proposal that will meet the needs of the client from every aspect, not just the menu, but also the vibe that they're trying to portray, any health concerns, what their to design a proposal that's within their budget, as long as their budget is sufficient to support what they're looking for. So in other words, if they want all organic, we all know it's going to be a little bit more expensive than non-organic. So our mission really is to, feed the senses, visual, smell, sight, presentation. Presentation is super important to us. Everything must be crafted and presented in a way that's appealing to the eye. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, aesthetics are a big thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So what attributes of yourself do you consider to create success in your business?
I'd say number one is flexibility. Um, I've learned that in my corporate world. The only thing that we really can predict is change. Change is a necessary part of life, and we have to be adaptable to that. Also, perseverance. So, I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my own life, and getting up and, brushing yourself off from a downturn and moving on is really, really important. I have a skill set that I learned in corporate. I'm good with organization and management, and um, what other skills? My technical skills are a little bit lacking at this point, because while I was in technology for all those years, it was basically on huge computer systems and not the current way of technology. But I do my best to stay current and to leverage up and coming technologies so that I don't outdate myself. So yeah, those are pretty much the skills, the skill sets, the ability to make people feel comfortable. I think that's really important, because you want to establish a relationship, and part of that relationship is really going to be about making that person feel comfortable, all throughout the process, and then ultimately they're having confidence in me that I certainly will deliver on the promises that I've made.
So the next question I have is, what has been the biggest failure you've experienced, and what did you learn from it?
I wouldn't say it's my failure, but COVID definitely had a huge impact on my business. I had just started my business in 2018, and I had a successful first year and a half. Was really getting myself out there, joined two different culinary associations, and was engaged, and did a number of big pro bono events to promote the business, and things were really looking up. And then COVID hit, which was devastating to my business, because while people were not entertaining and people were isolating, and it just, um, people weren't looking to have parties. So there really was no catering. What I did during that time was I volunteered my time in a kitchen that prepared meals for our health workers. I did that not on a regular basis, but I did it 3 or 4 times throughout the pandemic. we have never really fully recovered from the pandemic. Things are still slow. I think people are continuing to have parties for major events, 50th birthday parties and business events. Those are still creating business for me. What sort of has not come back really is the smaller parties, the dinner parties. It seems to me as though people are still not quite confident with having someone in their home to be preparing meals, or are just not gathering, for those particular events as they used to pre-COVID. So I don't think that was truly, it was a failure of the business, but not necessarily attributed to me. It was more of an outside force. I don't know that I've had a major failure since I've opened the business. We've never had, negative feedback. We've always, gotten 4.5 out of 5. It's been, it's been a good ride, and I hope certainly that it continues.
Yeah, I hope so too. So the next question is, what is your relationship with TIQC?
My relationship with TIQC, I engaged, oh goodness, I'm not quite sure how long ago it is, a little bit over a year maybe. I was looking for some help for my website. I needed to make some updates to my site that had been developed in 2018. And I also wanted, in the beginning of my business, I had hired a photographer slash influencer that I had not on staff, but on a contract basis, that was doing my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, I think it was. However, when COVID hit and things took a downturn, I really couldn't keep up that expense. So I was looking for a way to have my website changes done, as well as someone to manage my social media. And through a chain of emails, I saw that the TICQ was actually offered services of this nature, which I was totally unaware. So I did reach out, and I signed an initial contract, which was for social media, as well as website changes and search engine optimization. And so over the course of this year, I've continued to be engaged with you guys in delivering sort of the best in class in terms of the posts, as well as the changes to my website have been implemented. Those were really to add private chef as a service, and also to make some aesthetic changes relative to my gallery and things of that nature.
So is there any way that TIQC can improve?
I have been very happy with the services that were provided to me. I think my only little bit of disappointment was that the search engine optimization could not be completed, and I think that was a staffing issue on your side. But a lot of groundwork was done for the SEO that I hopefully can take elsewhere, and not have them sort of have to start from scratch, that they'll at least have a basis to go on, because SEO is so important. And, currently I don't have SEO, and I get daily emails from developers that want to engage with me for SEO and for revamping my site, but I feel like I made the right decision by engaging with you guys. I only wish that the SEO was able to be completed, but other than that, I was very happy with all of the services that were provided. The website changes were done in an efficient manner. The folks that did the web changes, uh, you know, were instrumental in facilitating those changes on GoDaddy, which is where my site is hosted. And then the social media was just amazing. I was extremely pleased with um, the posts, the kind of foresight looking ahead to see what are the things that people really engage with, and then implementing those ideas like the hacks and things like that. So I really wouldn't have any other suggestions on way to improve other than maybe staffing so that SEO is something that you guys can provide.
Okay. And the last question I have for you today is, do you have any other goals or dreams regarding your business or even personally?
My goal for my business is to be able to turn it over to my family within the next 5 years. And so, I'm pretty passionate about being able to um, give something to my family that will ultimately, when I'm not around anymore, that'll help them to remember what my passion was and and to give them skills in running a business. Like I said, the girls love to cook and present and entertain. And then I've got a couple of grandsons, and they really like. One of them is a teenager now, and he loves to get involved in planning and things of that nature. So really, that's my biggest goal right now, is just to keep the business going, running it at a profit, and maybe I don't know, being open to pivoting in some areas that, maybe we'll take the business a little bit further. I make an awesome caramel cheesecake. And it I've wanted to make it available for ordering on my website, but I didn't pursue that. However, the demand continues to be strong, and ultimately I may look to not only offer services, but also to offer products
Yeah.
out of garnish. Yeah. So those are my goals as it stands now. I mean, ultimately, I just want to fulfill my passion and feel good about myself. And I'm very close with my family, so we'll continue to be close. And like I said, hopefully turn the business over to them so that they have something. My two sons one is a captain in the fire department, and the other one is a lieutenant in the fire department. And, it'd be nice if they had a side gig too,
Yeah.
for when they retire, because they have a number of years in. So that's it.
Okay, well, thank you. That concludes our interview for today.